Look at all these birds that just live in the parking lot of Walmart. These birds are totally dependent on the breadcrumbs of people, what people can throw out. What happens when there is no Walmart? What happens when the grid goes down? How does it supply to people? How are people going to survive without a government check? I kind of refer to these as welfare birds. You can see them. They stay, actually, they're staying in all these cars out here, the parking lot. They spend their whole day in this parking lot. This is all they do. They come in the parking lot, and they're just waiting for breadcrumbs. Something somebody throws out or drops. That bird's getting kind of aggressive coming for the window. You see along that red truck over there? Just waiting for a free handout. That's okay for them, I suppose. But probably there's more birds, since they've been getting all these free handouts here, than could survive on the carrying capacity out in the wild. Could they do it? Would they do it? Would they survive? What happens when the grid actually collapses? And can you survive without your government check? If you're getting one. I'm sure you got family, friends, and loved ones with some government checks. Some are disabled. But if you're on a check, or may have to be on a check, you might need to consider alternate ways to survive when the day comes there's no government to give out a check. Looks like these birds will have to survive when the grid goes down and there's no Walmart. What are they going to do? How many of the birds are going to starve to death? Same as true people. When the grid goes down, that might be the last bit you ever get. You see what I'm saying, guys? So, you need to be ready. You need to be ready for the worst. This is a Walmart in Taylor, Arizona. That's where I'm at. Taylor, Arizona Walmart. Feeding welfare birds. It's kind of fun to feed them. Fun to watch them. But it may be a disservice to them. They're totally dependent on this. I'm doing this as an object lesson to teach you the day may come when there's no handouts. What do? The day may come when there's no government. There's no grid. There's no internet to send you that digital deposit. There's no mail carriers to bring you a check. There's no government to write it. Or maybe the governments exist, but it's because the interest rates on the debt got higher, got to be more than the money collected, and maybe even there's nobody buying bonds, nobody will finance the government, so maybe it's there in some security apparatus to maintain the powers that be. I don't know, guys, but it's something that's not helping you. So you just got to consider, a lot of people, especially a lot of us in the elderly community, are really dependent on a Social Security check, a retirement check, and those can be helpful. A lot of people are dependent on food stamps. The day may come that all that runs out. I highly suggest you garden. You come up with a skill. Even if it's just making little bitty trinkets, flint and steel sets, maybe something that people can use. Jewelry might have some application, but when people are starving to death, getting somebody to part with things that's dear to them, like food, for jewelry, might be a stretch, but maybe not. You just need to consider some kind of skill, some kind of craft that you could do that would be worthwhile when there's no other money coming in. Maybe they won't run you out of your home, but you got to consider people may have to move in with each other. Can't afford the house payments, the mortgages. It could be a very bad situation. Of course, maybe nobody's there to collect the rent and the house payments and the mortgages. Maybe the credit card debt will no longer be collected, but you still got to eat. You got to have some water. Just keep that in mind. Don't be like the birds here in the parking lot, that this is the only game in town. See them just waiting around on that car? This is the only game they've got in town. They don't realize that the little French fries are run out. Please give me a fry. Please give me a Frenchy fry. Oh, sorry, birdie. I ain't got no more. The French fry department is broke. That was the last one. So sorry about that feller. But in any event, now they're all waiting around just to see if I toss out something else. Well, they're waiting around under that various vehicles here. That's what to do once the vehicles kind of settle down. They just wait around in the shade, looking for a handout. Waiting in the shade, they got it made as long as Walmart continues to function, as long as people can come in here and shop. But that's not a given, guys. That's not a given. We're facing potential world war, economic collapse. This whole thing, the world order as we know it, may fall apart. So just keep that in mind. If you are living off that check, find an alternate means. If you got friends and family that do, I know you do, talk to them about doing something different. Usually when we get older, we don't have the abilities we had when we were younger. It's harder to do things. Develop some skills. Preferably some kind of skills that don't require technology, because there may be no technology available. You know, maybe in some cases just babysitting, you know, or helping out an elderly person. You know, if you got any strength at all, any ability to do anything, or your mind, what can you use it for? How can you make that useful to people going forward? Just keep those things in mind. Enough said. Anyway, here we are with welfare birds at Walmart. It's fun to feed them, but I hope they're not too dependent. I'm afraid they probably are. There's so many of them here. I don't know if the local environment can carry them or not, because these birds spend all their time here in this lot. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. Greg out.